So, today we're going to be protecting our pepper plants from cutworms. So we're going to start off and just show this real quick for anybody that wants to check this out right away in the video. And then we're just going to take our time, kick back, PS, answer some questions if anybody's got them. Talk about how things are going. Seems like my microphone's on, so that's good. I got a picture, so that's good. Basically, you got your tin foil. This is like 1.5 inches tall and 2.5 inches wide or so. It can be anything close to that. I'm going to fold over the top a little bit so I got a little bit of a rigid top. Then all you got to do, right at the surface of this dirt here, just wrap it around there one time. You don't need to have it secure and tied on there real tight or nothing. You just need where the surface of the dirt, basically at the emergence of the surface of the dirt and the air, you want that area covered because then cutworms will come right at the top of the dirt and cut off that plant. Just take that little bit and leave the rest of the plant and then go on to the next one. So you just do that time after time after time. Basically, the only reason I'm going to be doing this, wrapping this stuff. And I wanted to see if anybody had anything to say. I got a couple of videos that are coming out. So I figured I'd just make the reason for the video wrapping the pepper plants, because these will be going in the ground tomorrow, probably after work. Anyways, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's fine. Went and saw the blueberry sprinkles today. They look good. That's what the videos are about tonight. It's about the indoor sprinkle and the outdoor sprinkle. When you're doing this too, it doesn't have to be, secure. It needs to be wrapped around, but doesn't need to be folded over or anything. Just so they can't get up to your stem. The plant will be fine one day, it'll go out the next day, and it'll be dead laying there on the ground with no hope. And I've got 40 some pepper plants, 44, I think. I don't need 44 dead pepper plants. And there's 4, 10 times that more to go, right? We'll go grab a few more. Actually, I'm just going to pull a table in here. Yeah. Anyways, we've got some acorn squash popping up. You see that little white spot in there right underneath my finger? Those are acorn. That's an acorn squash. There should be 3 seeds in each one of these. They've been in the dirt for let's see, 6 days, I think. So that's pretty good. 6 or 7. That's pretty good. So anyways, before I started this, I was out planting my big pumpkins. They're doing well. I tested the compost tea, a straight drench on them, undiluted, this morning, and they look happier than hell. I don't know if it improved anything, but I know it didn't upset them. So we're going to keep using that. Tonight I did a drench with a mixture of the compost tea and fermented plant juice. These both spent like 4 or 5 days in the freezer. I wanted to see how that worked. Didn't seem to affect them at all. Now, granted, I'm sure a bunch of the microbes died off, but they're so hard to completely kill off. There's no way you're gonna. And I was just looking to preserve the nutrients in there. The microbes are a bonus. So, thumbs up to you. Appreciate it. What's going on? Wrapping some pepper plants with our tinfoil barrier to keep them protected from cutworms. We have quite a bit of them dang buggers around here. I don't know how everybody else does with them. But I know if we didn't do this, we would lose at least a quarter of our plants. Now, I don't know if it affects all the different plants. I do it on tomato plants, pepper plants. I'm going to do it on the eggplant, but it is a they're great big plants, so I'm not real worried about it. But what else? I don't do it with the vine, vine plants at all. I don't know why they don't bother them, but they don't seem to bother them. You got to worry more about gophers with them. And if you have gophers, check out my gopher video. If you have a gopher trap, I'm willing to just flat out guarantee if you follow the technique, you're going to catch that gopher probably by the next morning. Since I started using it, I don't know that I've missed more than one. Lost one because its foot got tore off, unfortunately. And I caught one with both front feet. The last one I caught with a back foot. But all of them were the next morning. So I set the trap at night after work, and by the next morning I'd have them. So I don't have to deal with gophers anywhere. But if I did, I don't know what I would do. What I've done in the past is just plant numbers, and hopefully they don't make it to there because they have to still dig their tunnels around to find the stuff, But I've had them drag down whole jalapeno plants with like 10 or 15 jalapenos on it. So they were big enough to get jalapenos on it. 6 feet of vine from, let's see, what was it? From acorn squash. 6 feet of vine was down a hole one time when I went digging after them. I'm like, what the heck's this? Here, it's a vine. But I guess if I couldn't trap them, I guess I'd plant everything in pots in the ground like I do with my cannabis. Would probably be the way to go. Get a big enough pot. That does tend to restrict your vine or your roots, but I find that stabbing your roots with a stick. What I do is just cram a stick in about 6 or 8 times in different spots. when a pot gets root bound like that, it doesn't want to take in water. So that helps water absorb into those spots. The other reason plants tend to slow down their growth when they feel like they're root bound. And with a top dress that I use with grass clippings and stabbing the roots, that leaves areas where the new roots can grow. So the plant never really notices it's root bound. Just, once a week, once you get really close to being root bound, jab a stick in there, pull it out. You can check your moisture using a stick. Yeah, I don't know. I leave that stick right in there. And then the next time I go check that plant's moisture, I'll feel it on my face, or it's hard to tell on your hands because you're dealing with plants the whole time. Your hands are wet and dirty and shit. But I'll touch it to my face and you'll be able to tell if it's wet or not. Or, tap it on something if the granules fall like sand, then it's pretty dry. But I don't know. It's easy to overwater them, and it's hard to recover from a real bad overwatering. So err on the side of caution. Different reasons for doing drybacks. That's probably one of them. I don't know if I'd call it a dryback per se. I'm just, yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. Another pepper. And when you do this too, you're going to be cutting off most of the bottom, branching that comes out of here. That ain't going to really do much. You're going to be putting mulch up to here anyways. Also, what I do is I'll take and pick off you can pick off the tip too. That'll encourage side branching. But I'll pick off all the blossoms, okay? Because right now, if you get blossoms to bloom on there and a bee finds it to pollinate it, then you're going to have, one or two peppers, a medium-sized plant, and that's going to be all. If you grow it up and let those leaves turn into big solar panels, at least top it one or two more times. Not top it, but pull those, blossoms off one or two more times. Let the plant get, 2 feet tall or so, and then let it go. Then you'll get two nice, decent harvests of nice, decent peppers. I get some pretty dang big pepper plants. At that time, I was using like Miracle Grow. So if you're using Miracle Grow and you're planting peppers in the ground, their ratio is 2 of the big tablespoons in a 3-gallon container, roughly. And they say every 7 to 14 days. I keep it right on 7 days. So every 7 days, I'm giving them some fertilizer. But also, I'm making sure everything's consistently moist by grass clippings and then watering at least, or checking the water every day, making sure it's moist every day. If you don't get any grass clippings on there for mulch or any kind of mulch at all, then you're going to be having big swings. And with the tomatoes, you want to make sure that's very consistent, especially when they're starting to ripen, because then that's why you get them splitting. If you don't water them every day, and all of a sudden they get a watering or a rain, they have a growth spurt, and that makes them split. So to minimize the splitting, keep them comfortably moist all the time. Next one. Oh, you know what? First, we're going to celebrate summer and spring and all that jazz. Actually, I really don't need no reason to celebrate these days. Just being around is a celebration enough. If you're 45 or older, get a colonoscopy. Talk to your doctor. I imagine they'll recommend it. If you have anybody that has prior history, be damn sure you go get checked out at 45. It's a literal pain in the ass. Anyways, we're trying to stretch this out for a while. It definitely helps my lungs not smoking as much flower. I can do one or two of these and be off to the races, finish all these plants, and be good. It actually, I busted my banger, whatever you want to call them things, you know, the bowl off of it. But with this pick that I've always used, I can get it to smoke pretty well using this and just a minimal amount. You heat it up to red hot, and then just about when it starts to cool off there, you see it start to turn back to regular glass color. Then you start hitting it slowly, spinning it around there. I'll show you. Yowza. It does taste like wax, so it's no surprise why they call it that, I guess. Try one more. What's everybody else smoking on? This is power plant rosin. Excellently cured by AJS. I think it's 1989 or 19. I gotta figure that out. AJS, where are you? So I'm gonna pop over to this other dealio here and let's see if we got any shows on yet. I think 7:30 or 8. The next one comes on. Boom. Here. Go here. Okay, over here. Been out a couple times to the plants today. They look amazing. Okay, so we're live here, and videos will be upcoming at 7:30 and 8:30. Boy, they picked some nice looking photos that AI does. We had 9 videos. There are 9 people watching our latest video from yesterday so far, and that's just on this tally here. 48 people watched me cutting down that tree. That's cool. All right, now back to the show. That was our commercial break. Hold on. Let's see, are these already done then? Okay, that one I'm closing that. Boom. Okay. And then this one's done. Processing, composing that. All right, now close, close. Then we're going to go to here. Shoot, did I close out YouTube? Hello, where'd you go? Huh. Interesting. Well, I guess I'm just going to close everything and see if anything stays on. YouTube Studio. I. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Yay! Holy crap. All right. Probably was. Edit stream. Amy. Haha. Kara says you guys should buy a house together.
Kara says?
Yep.
Well, that's the thing, like I was telling Alicia, okay, so if you get your own place, man.
Yeah, well, I am live though.
Huh?
I am live.
Cool.
I didn't know. I mean, whatever. Kind of baited you into that one, but I didn't know there was going to be some other deal to that. I read, whatever. I mean,
like, sure, obviously, they figured out what happened.
yes. At the moment, nobody's watching, but eventually somebody will. um, all right. So, pepper plants. No, we're going to do one more of these. What else? Corn's got to go in soon. That'll be after the peppers. And then these squash, as soon as they finish sprouting, will go in. Eggplant, gourds, Hubbard squash are going in. And I think that's about it. But there's multiple peppers. Anyways, if anybody's got a garden, they're planting anything, what are you guys planting? Anybody planting like watermelons or what you call it? Like honeydew melons, musk melons, any of those type thing. I have a hard time growing here because our dirt doesn't have a lot of sand in it. So I don't know. I'd have to probably prop them up on something so to keep them from rotting, or mulch the crap out of them. And I don't have that much mulch. It does seem to be a renewable resource, though, because I have to mow it every week. pretty much, except for in the winter. Oh. Or when there's a drought. The like 3 years ago now, I guess, when we had that drought around here, 2 years in a row, there was very little water. The second year of it, I don't think we used more than one tank of gas in the lawnmower because it just wasn't growing. This year, there's weeds a foot tall in the garden right now. Oh, you know what? All I got to do is this. Wow. Oh shoot! Yeah, no, right? Oh shoot, man! Hi! We're wrapping pepper plants today. Getting ready to plant them. I have Yep, then they're gone. Remember Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm planting pot plants today. Anybody want to see? No. Okay. All right, we're gonna mute that again. Nikki popping in and out. Always at the Hi.
But yeah, but Alicia, that was just thrown out there.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, if you find something.
All right. We're going to be doing one more of these, and then we're going to wrap 40 more pepper plants. Mm. Ah. And then work tomorrow, which was quite busy today. I think the weather is supposed to be most of the same or a little warmer. Went through tons of beverages. What else? Man. They just legalized driving little go-karts and shit around town on the streets. So now we're seeing these little scooters and motorcycles and golf courts. Yep. You can ride a four-wheeler right down the freaking street if you want to.
It's like, that's literally a bicycle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Well,
Nope. Them golf carts always used to pop in, So, I mean, I guess if your snowmobile's got wheels on it, you can drive it too. Some of them damn carts, them three-wheel things are like snowmobiles anyway. So, those three-wheel things. So, why not?
well,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably not. No, it's probably like having a bicycle. You can park right in the grass there. Yeah.
but they always were at the junior high.
Yep.
But I don't go to high school over there, and certainly for the last, how long now?
Yeah. And part of that has to do with them kids too, because now they've always been able to drive them scooters in town. I don't know where, on the shoulder or whatever, and adults could drive them as long as there was a certain amount of CC, so they could go so fast you could drive them anywhere, and you didn't need a license.
We got pedestrians getting hit left and right.
And now you got guys on scooters driving out in front of people drunk. Yeah. Uh, and roundabouts, and then crosswalks where there shouldn't be crosswalks, random flashlights. I know. Uh, that damn trouble we had. Well, didn't have a whole lot of trouble this time, other than we almost got killed by a semi. But going down for that colonoscopy, like 2 days later, there was an accident down there and closed everything off. Plus, they closed off that area. They've been working on that area on the highway for 2 years since I've been going down there. Now they closed off a bunch of stuff down there. We got there the day we needed to get down there. At the time we needed to get down there. Got lucky, made it back. Don't gotta go back for a year, and that's the last time. Yeah. Anyways, one more hork on this, and then we got a video coming out in 4 minutes. And then we got a video coming out in an hour, 4 minutes. So I'm gonna just pop over on that other screen and watch that video. Oh, we can watch it over here on this Jumbotron. Here, hold on. That's already on. What up? All right, let's see. We're going to be making compost tea starting Monday. Oops, this is live. All right. Now, this is over at Andrew at location number 2. We're going to sit over here and watch it. Just in case you're not watching it there at your place, you can see it here. Okay, what is it doing there? It's saying it's doing something. Yeah, connecting or something. Why ain't it working? Let's see. Yeah, it should be starting any second. Here we go. So welcome to the machine. Ooh. Boo. Tomorrow will be day 8. So this is day 7. Boy, that's too bad. Why can't we see that? Just too shiny. Is the sun coming through the window? Hmm. Well, that's just too bad. Looks good in there. We'll have to watch that over again. Oh, well, we're going to go turn the light back on then. Oh, that's good. That's good. There we go. Ah, peppers. I gotta say, peppers. Cubanelle, number 2. Like I said, you cut off any lower branches, anything lower than 2 inches. That's an inch. That's probably almost 2 inches right here. Cut off anything lower than that. And you could cut off these two. At least around here, these plants are gonna get huge. Um, them bottom branches aren't gonna do them nothing right now. So actually, we lost one over here. All we're doing is just wrapping that stem with an inch of tinfoil. You can even go 2 inches if you want. It's easier to hold on to or whatever. Mine usually end up being about 2.5 inches. Or not 2.5, inch and a half. This tinfoil is a few years old, so it's hard to get off of this roll, but once you do, you're in business. Fold it a quarter of an inch down, and then just tear off 1 inch pieces. Eventually the plant's going to get a hard enough scaly surface on it, a hard enough casing or whatever, bark. There you go. Bark would be a good one. That it's no longer going to be permeable permeated by the cutworm. Boom. These are California Wonder. I like to have variety of my green peppers. Because you never know, maybe they don't like the way the weather is, a certain particular one, or maybe one is more susceptible to um, some kind of plant or bug or whatever. Or maybe, you know, you get one type that grows real big, all you got are these really huge peppers, and maybe you need just a little small pepper. Another one. And now all I have is pop those out. Usually I do this right in the garden, not on YouTube, talking to myself. Uh, so it's nice to have them done now, and people have seen me do that enough times to where, maybe I'll leave one or two ready to go, and I'll show people the day I'm planting them if I decide that I'm going to plant, while people are watching or while people are popping in and out. Other than that, we're just going to be doing this. It is going to be a time saver when I'm out there. That's the biggest time consumer for any one hole in the garden, is wrapping the stems of certain plants. But it's definitely worth it. Loosely wrapped, it can expand then with the plant, and you don't have to worry about it choking off. And like I said, it gets a bark on it after a little while, and then you don't have to worry about it. So that's why I'm not real worried about those eggplant. They're large enough. I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about it, but I'm gonna do it anyways. It's a very easy step. We're doing it right now, so I'll do it right now today while I'm doing these. I've done already 38 peppers or something like no, yeah, something like that, or tomatoes. Um, I think that's it. We're gonna plant between 300 and 500 corn probably. Um, our cannabis is going to be fertilized this week with our dry amendments. I've got some fresh nightcrawler castings. We're going to be making a compost tea, about a 7-gallon one, I think is about, I'll actually measure out how big that tank is, how much that holds, so we can get a ratio. The ratios really aren't important. If it's a handful, use if you want 2 handfuls or whatever. But, I dialed mine up after the first time and I saw better results as far as visible results during the brew of the compost tea than I did in the first one. The temperatures may have been different, but I know there's more microbial life going on in the second brew. Um, so I will be going with that brew again. And like I said earlier, um, they seem to still pack a punch after being frozen. I'm not surprised. Microbes are pretty hard to kill off 100%. But if you're looking for a microbial defense against something, you may not want to freeze it. You may want to use a fresh one. And my analysis of the stage of a fresh one for a microbial defense would be anywhere between 12 and 24 hours. Well, no, 24 and 36 hours probably. Or, right at 30, whatever, right around there, anywhere between there, right in between would be best. That way you got a microbial force that's you know, getting ready to and have started to bloom. And then you got the leftover ones that are going to finish blooming, all working together in that application. If I wanted it doing all the work on the leaf, which that's a very minimal use, I don't even know how many times I would use that, a short brew. But the other use then would be like a 48-hour brew, and that's for more nutrients. So the microbial bloom has already happened. Now they're breaking down. Maybe they're not completely gone. They're never going to be completely gone. But they're going to have released all their nutrients, and all their nutrients will probably be at a maximum. And that's kind of where, well, that's exactly where what I've been using now is frozen at. Right at the stage of they depleted all the food in there. The microbial bloom is blossom and it's fully active, and then it's starting to come down. And so it's, if you're talking trichomes, it's like a fully amber or nearing full or fully, yeah, fully amber, I guess would be the best. And then fresh frozen. So you got your fresh frozen live compostee. And that's mostly nutrients. You spray that on your leaves or your roots. The earlier stuff you'd spray on your leaves, not during bloom, of course, or not during flower. I wouldn't do that so much. We're wrapping our peppers today in about a 1 by 1.5 inch piece of tinfoil right down at the base of the stem where the stem hits the ground. And that is to protect us or protect our pepper plants from um, cutworms. So right at the ground, each of those tin foils touch the ground. The cutworm will come right at the ground. It's right at the surface of the dirt critter, and cut straight through your stem overnight. And the next day, your pepper will be laying on the ground up, and it will die or it'll be dead. So that's how you protect your pepper plants from those. Oops. The corn this year, uh, I think I have 4 different kinds. We're starting with, I think it's a 68-day, and then you go to the 70, 75, 78, and or 83 and 85. I don't remember exactly, but we've got some regular yellow corn, white corn, um, peaches and cream, sweet corn. I think there's two different kinds of peaches and cream. So that's what it looks like. So now instead of sitting down there on my knees out in the garden, we're prepared. We can pop each of these out, put them in the hole, and we are golden. No, hopefully no cutworms. Occasionally they will make it through whatever defense. I don't know. But for some reason, these stems on here are bent to shit. Must have been tipped over for a while. Let's see, like that. Yeah. Anyways, what's everybody up to tonight? Everybody got their garden in? Like and subscribe. What's going on, AJS? Not much. I'm wrapping my peppers, hanging out. Um, had a couple videos. Oh, the videos we did today are one was just on 16 minutes ago, and the other one is on in an hour from now, I guess 8:30. The other one's on. So yeah, anybody watching at 8:30, pop on another screen and watch the videos with me. Unfortunately, I had it going on back here, but you could see the preview on the TV or on the computer or whatever. But the screen or the camera on the laptop didn't like seeing the screen when it was playing my video. I think it was because of the brightness of the tent, that silver. It happened when I was doing lives from my room, and that cabinet had the light on. It was like seeing a UFO. So that, I think, is why I couldn't see what was going on, but that's all right. We're just wrapping peppers now. And smoking some of that rosin. Boy, that whatever that dude is doing with his vapes there, if people understood that that's really what that stuff tasted like, they would go hands down for the real shit rather than that flavored stuff. I don't know what the hell that flavored stuff is, but yeah. Or, you gotta just gotta go for it. But we're going for it with pepper plants, 44 of them. So, brother, you know what goes good with homegrown eggs? Is some peppers. So, yeah, boy, the kids would love that. I used to, well, I still do, fry up some eggs and then finally dice up some onions. I don't care. A lot of people don't care for onions in their stuff, but um, I don't really care for big chunks of onions in my eggs, but eggs and some green pepper, um, some cheese, making me hungry. Anyways, more tinfoil. What the hell did I do with that? Here's one piece. We're covered for a minute. There's another piece. We're covered for 2 minutes. Ah, let's see. Oh, right after you left, let's see. 2 things. Let's see. So one of my other customers came in and he had a chunk for me. I don't know what kind. I don't even think he knew what kind. Um, I tried that and it was decent. I still like what we got going on better. And then somebody else brought a chunk up and left it with Kara for me. And that was decent. I still like ours better, what we got going on. We'll I mean that's I'm a little bit prejudiced myself, but it is what it is. But I don't know. This is such a I thought last year was like, oh, last year's the best year because we can do this stuff legal and we're all good. And, we got this two huge plants and everything's amazing. And now we come up with this freaking new system. And now it's ups and downs and it's like doing it all over again. We don't know what our final result is going to be. Uh, Very optimistic, but damn, it's just. I know, right? No shit. I just obviously I hope for success, but I don't know. It's just hard to picture what we're seeing right now. What you got going on there is going to help. Yeah. What you got going on there is going to help because we're going to see it a little earlier than what we're going to see it out here. So that's good. I talked to Craig today too, and that Purple Punch Lemon Drizzle. Nobody's going by no damn freaking time limit on the package or trichomes. They're looking at the bud. Maybe they're seeing some trichomes or whatever, but that's not how they're judging their stuff. They know how they like it. He's like, that Purple Punch of Lemon Drizzle. I asked him, how long did you flower it? He's like, I don't know, like 7 weeks probably or something like that. Maybe 6 or 7 weeks, somewhere like that. He's like, I just got to where I liked it and I cut it down. So, and that's kind of, the way I've always done it. It was always, like I said, that I had a bucket, an ice cream pail full of buds that I'd, over the weeks, try a hunk, okay, find out where it's at. Okay, maybe it's not quite there, and chucked it into the bucket, and then eventually made rosin out of it. But sooner or later, you come around to where, okay, now we can start evaluating where we're at by looking at trichomes. We're there. Now let's see where they're at. And that can, if all of a sudden you're seeing your 30% amber, then holy shit, we got to do something. But if you look at that and all of a sudden you're really clear, okay, now, do we have a freeze dryer yet? Do we want to take that clear and turn it into freaking rosin? Flower rosin doesn't bother me one bit. Actually, I think, as much as I smoke, the clear rosin, trying to keep that clean anyways, would be a hindrance because I'd always be sitting there. I'd go through freaking bangers or whatever, nails or whatever constantly. But, if you want to really be able to showcase what you're doing, then you need a freeze dryer or somebody to do it. I don't have any don't know that I have any buddies that really blast anything. Or, I mean, DJ would, but I don't think he's got the freeze dryer part of it. So it'd be just like what we're doing here. I think he was incorporated with another dude and whatever. Uh, he had this, the other dude had this. They were building the room or whatever. But I don't know this stuff. If anybody's seen that before, whoa. Works good. I can do 2 of those and be off to the races doing something else, What's going over on your place today? You went to Menards and did some running earlier. You get all that figured out. Hopefully you're relaxing now. I texted DJ and said you guys would love some eggs. So I don't know if his mom's just gonna come over there. I can text him and see what her name is too. I've always wanted to know anyways. Wonderful woman. I love the hell out of her, even though I don't know what her name is yet, but I'll learn it and we'll figure it out. But I've seen her enough over the last 11 years that very pleasant person. And you know what? Henry calls her. I hope you're listening. He calls her the ringleader. And she knows it. I thought that was funny. She's adorable. Anyways, yeah, I don't know if you plant many peppers, but this is how you keep the dang cutworms from eating your pepper plants at the ground there and leaving the plant lay there dead. One year I forgot this, and the next day I got up and there was like 5 of them cut down to the ground, and then the damn gophers pulled down another one. So that's when I learned how to damn trap gophers. Boom. That one's a little kinked up, but maybe it was under some LST and HST or something. It's just BS to me, I guess. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Okay. So say we can generally say, oh, you know what? I hope you're listening right now. Let's see. The ringleader. Yeah, I know, right? It's fucking hilarious. Ah, oh, poor woman. The Spurs don't mean a damn thing. So there's Spurs on the Golden Goat or Orange Gasm, whichever one that is, and I see pistols. So that one, I'm like 98% sure that that's a girl. So I went and looked at the cheesecake, and if I had a magnifying glass or some damn shit to see a little smaller, my phone would do, the magnify, whatever. But I'm pretty damn sure that I see those Spurs, but also with a little freaking, just a whisper of a hair coming out. So I'm pretty sure that's a female. 97%. That fucker is getting to be a big bitch already. I mean, stout. I can't do anything with the straightening it out on those branches anymore. She's just all stuck just like that. The inner branching is coming in very nice. It's all really wispy stuff, so none of it will be able to be gadgetized yet. But I kind of whipped them around a little bit, smacked them around a little bit, and that should stiffen them up. That's also opening up other nodes there because those nodes are a little stretched out between each other. But the next step with those are the gadget. probably in 4 or 5 days, depending on sun and rain. And, it's going to be a couple days before I get the compost tea done, but I do have some old stuff and some fermented plant juice that I'm going to be using on them. The auto out there that I stunted, that is coming back real nice. I mean, it's never going to be what it could have been, but there's buds probably the size of a dime on there right now. And it's working as planned, okay? So you got the top bud that's the size of a dime. Then right underneath it is two other buds that are almost that same size. And then underneath that, there's like one more. So when those develop, if they develop normally, even though they've been stunted, all of those should be within the realm of 1 and 2, or grade A and grade B buds. And then there shouldn't really be nothing else. If I wouldn't have stunted it, I would have brought it out a little more now, and they'd be 90% A buds and probably a 10%, kind of bud, and then the other ones would be in the realm of a kind of bud. But you would probably then, the next time if that happens, take that last kind of bud off, or I would. Because right now, whether we're smashing or making food or making bubble hash or anything like that, I want to be looking at grade A buds, whatever we're doing with them. Whether we're smoking them, making them into rosin, whatever, they need to be pretty damn good. And that one we got going over there is going to be a good tester to be able to know how far we need to direct. All right, Noah, you keep on him. You tell her your sister to go get him too. That cat. You know what? Too bad you can't just leave that remote control car plugged in outside out the door there and just chase him from inside the house. But you should get a doggy door and then run that car, yours gas car, out the door and chase him down. Or get a drone with rockets. Ah, shoot. So yeah, anybody needs pepper plants, or not pepper plants, peppers this summer. It'll be later in the summer, but hit me up. Usually I give away box or totes and boxes full of them at the store. So I'll definitely bring some extra for you if anybody wants them. I do freeze a ton of them, and my brother uses a bunch. He has a anti-state fair party in the fall, and has just about everything on a stick or deep fried or whatever you could ever need. What did I do with my jalapenos here? That's not them. That's Lady Bell. I hope. Otherwise, where's Lady Bell? Man, I don't know. Is that one there that doesn't have anything going on? Nope. That one's got something going on. Oh, what? No. Tag, 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 tag. I hate it when this happens. I'm missing. I either got an extra tag or I'm missing peppers. Oh, they're there. All right, never mind. Boom! It was a crooked bastard that I was talking about before. Well, I hope that's the jalapenos. If not, doesn't make much of a difference. Boy, the mosquitoes are coming out. I did already, like I said, take all the blossoms off the top of these. And what we're doing here today is we're wrapping our stems with tinfoil to keep the cutworms off of our plant, or keep them from cutting our plants down. I don't know if anybody's familiar with how they operate, but I don't know if they come from underground or come across on the ground, but they will come right at the top of the surface of the ground and chew through your stem directly through it, and then the stem will tip over, lay on the ground, and they'll leave it alone, and they'll go off to the next plant. It's completely ridiculous. They don't eat any more of it, or I don't know what the purpose is, but yeah. So it's just take a little chunk of tinfoil, inch long, wrap it around your stem. Um, so it definitely goes over it completely and right at the surface. So there's no way they can get their head, between the tinfoil and the dirt. So they must crawl around on the surface, I guess. Um, and then they just cut it off. It's ridiculous. Anyways, more tinfoil. This is like a 3-year-old roll of tinfoil, so that's how much you use it. But once it's been out in the garden, and who knows what you're using, manure and different kinds of blood meal and bone meal nowadays. You don't want to contaminate your kitchen with some of that stuff most of the time. I had some of that bone meal get in my coat one day. I was top dressing this spring, earlier this spring, so it was still probably technically winter, but we had some warmer days. So I prepared the mound out there, and some wind blew as I was dispersing it, and it blew up in my sleeve. And anytime I was like, hold my hand up by my face, I was like, what the hell is that stink? Why do I smell blood meal all the time? Here it was in my sleeve, my coat. Stinks like hell. I thought it was probably for a day or so in my head, And then the next day or so after that, I was like, man, I still smell that. I don't know if it's in my head or what. And then I found out it was my coat. That sucked. But I mean, it was nice I found out and was able to get rid of it. Tomorrow will be planting day in the evening. I like to plant most of my stuff. That way they've got all night to recover. Usually I'll try to do anything like that in the evening. If you're running 24 hours light, then it doesn't matter when. But, if you're outside, I think there's probably some kind of less bugs running around at night. So there's less chance of that stressing them out, getting in a fresh wound if you're, topping or anything like that. Everything but water. Don't water at night if you don't have to. You can full your spray at night, but only if it's a dry air, or drier air, and you can especially do it if there's a breeze. It doesn't take long for them to absorb that moisture when there's a breeze. You just want it to, go into them instead of evaporating off, whatever nutrients can evaporate off. We got potatoes in the ground, 8 hills of those. They're doing fantastic. We just picked probably 36 or 38 cups of rhubarb. Those did good this year. We just transplanted some of them, actually like split some of them. So we took part of some of them and made new hills out of them last year. Shoot, I was sitting on my cord the whole time. Oh, boo. This ain't going to be good. See what happens. Well, it's charging. I don't remember where I was going with that. We were talking about potatoes. Those seem to be doing well. I planted some cucumbers over by there. Cauliflower's planted there. So we're getting multiple uses out of one area right on our fence line. I like the idea of the dry clay as glacial rock dust or whatever. I think that may be why I'm seeing such stiff branches. We're going to be trying to stiffen up anyways because you're spreading it out and they want to go up. So that's going to signal to them that they need to stiffen up so they can hold up anything, that's growing up. 3 or 4 wrapped pepper plants. What are these here? These are ladybells too. So I did have like 2 packs of those. We've got some sweet bananas, some hot bananas. The sweet and hot one, I remember that one. I didn't really care for that one so much, but it's going to go in the blend at the end of the year. So these are all the peppers I'll put in the blend at the end of the year. What I don't get frozen, what doesn't get given away, I dehydrate. A lot of them with the thin skins, like the super cayennes, the super chilies, Tabascos, stuff like that. You can hang just like a cannabis plant and it'll dry out, over the winter. You can take them off individually and put them on a string, like string of popcorn or string of pearls. And then the small jalapeno or the small Tabascos, I'll actually either just hang and dry, or I'll pick them off and put them in a paper bag and put them up in the attic in the garage here. And it's so dry up there that it sucks out the moisture over time. Once in a while I'll go in there and stir them up, but it works perfectly on them. The thicker skin stuff, I will cut into slices small enough to fit on the trays inside the dehydrator, and that takes like 2 days of dehydrating. I don't remember exactly if it's 2.5, depending on the peppers too. Some of them may be in there a while longer. And then when they're all dry, grind them up, and then that makes some pepper flakes. And boy, when you try them when they have all the different peppers in them, it's got such umami. That's you like them now, or your father-in-law likes them now. It's gonna be lights out when he tries these next ones. Everybody goes nuts for those. I used to, when I made pickles, put some of those in my pickles, and people would go crazy over my pickles. I still should probably text DJ. It might be who texts me now. Oh no, he pulled something in his neck today and he can't freaking move. Damn. Telling him I'm live right now. We'll see what happens. I just asked if you'd join on. While he's doing that, I got to pop in and grab my charger for my phone. Thankfully, I didn't cut that cord off. I've done it a couple of times now, but caught it before I ever sat on the sucker. Now I just flattened it. I'll be right back, brother. Like and subscribe. And now I'm babysitting a dog. We got a sick dog, so he's been having diarrhea the last couple. So I got to kind of keep an eye on where he goes here, but and make sure see if he goes or not. So yeah, if DJ's joining here, hit us up on the deal here on the comments. Andrew's with us. The dog's just interested in finding shit to eat, apparently. So he's looking for food at the moment. You never know when you can find something on the floor in the garage. Last night it was a damn toad. Jesus Christ. Dog will eat any freaking thing. We got a skink around here. I'm worried about the poor little skink. I've never seen one of those. They're pretty crazy. Not a skank, a skink. There's been plenty of skanks here too over the years. Oh no. This is the wrong charger? What the hell? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so I made some what the hell? Okay, is this the right phone for Christ's sakes? There we go. Man. Telling you, if it wasn't didn't have incredibly bad luck, I wouldn't know it was live. There he is. What up, D? D, Andrew D. I don't remember. Yeah, you guys did meet. I think you met. If not, Andrew lives over by where your mom and dad live over there. We're babysitting the dog at the moment. We got a video coming on in 18 minutes. Let's see. So, hey man, I made it cool. Yeah, that sucks. What were you doing? The logs. Okay, that's what I thought. What do you guys do? Sell firewood or something, or you burn it? Yep, definitely take it easy this weekend. Oh, stinking dog. Yeah, there's another toad. Only this one was squished, so he didn't eat it. He likes to eat live ones, apparently. Oh, I got a friggin' ton of shit to do to get ready for the graduation. Let's look at this stuff here. So, this is kind of neat. This patch here, the outside, and the whole thing used to be, but the outside um, is daylilies. This center part here, that started out as one or two, and I used to pick all the weeds out of here. Like this one here is a weed. If you get down there, you can get them out. But weed, weed, weed. Those over there are weeds. This one here is a Minnesota wildflower. How the hell it got there, I don't know. Wild, I guess. I can't get them to propagate. I can't take seeds from them and go plant them somewhere else. That never has worked. But right here, they seem to just take off, and they're like a lady slipper. And this summer, I think it's the middle of July, I believe, or the end of July, they bloom, and they're really cool. Minnesota wildflower. It's one of the fascinations with technology. You can take a picture of something, and it'll tell you, your phone will tell you what the heck it is. Let's see what else we got here. Take it easy. Oh, you were gonna go buy it? Yeah, yeah. Well, how many bikes do you need? Come on. Did you ever sell that one you were looking at selling? I think the last time you were on one, you just picked one up and you were trying to sell one. Oh, look at the sunset over here. Hoofda. You know, I know sooner or later I'm gonna walk out of the range of the Wi-Fi, but I'm gonna try not to. We do have most of the battery. Why not take a walk while we wait for the dog to poop? All right. You better not be pooping on the. Oh, yep. We got cucumbers popping up here. Those I just planted like 4 days ago. I can't believe that. This is a very active. Here's another one. Very active ground there. This is my leaf mulch with a little bit of grass clipping and some pine needles. Those I try to keep out of the whole system, but you do need some acid, and we do have some pine trees around here. Most of them are from the neighbor's yard, but here's our potato row. Bitchin'. Those are purple potatoes. Any blossoms yet? Not quite. All right. This is my next round of biochar being activated. I'm activating in combination of a lot of different stuff. Oh, he's pooping. There's the evidence. But it's really, I have to go investigate that too. Sorry. It looked like it was just running out of them. Oh, hey, nope. There's a consistent hot dog there. Congratulations. We had success. Now he looks like he's better. This dog likes to run, man. He is a running fool. I don't know if anybody's ever watched the video of Doug playing on the zip line, but he goes crazy. Come on, why don't we go here? Let's play on the zip line. Come on. Oh, here's the sunset. Let's see, where is it? What, can we even see it on there? Wow, you can't, can you? Interesting. Or at least I can't. Oh, it's all that smoke. I'll be damned. There's the sun right there. Come on, Doug. Anyways, down those tilled rows are tomatoes, and those freshly tilled rows are going to be my pepper plants. You can see all the green vegetation there. That's all going to be future nitrogen. That's the apple tree. Not an apple year this year. There goes the dog. Oh, shoot. We got most of them peppers wrapped up. That's cool. Do another dab later and finish the rest of them off. Doug's felt like crap for a couple of days. He went from puppy chow to a sprinkling of adult dog food gradually. And then there was also some like bacon bits or bacons or bacon food or whatever. I don't know what the hell it was. But, that may have been in question. So no more of that stuff. He is pooping solid now, which he hadn't been. So I think we're over the hump. Yeah, no, he likes to chew right through that rope. Oh, shoot. Oh, I got a wood tick. If I'm not watching, he'll go wander around the yard and then just come bucking through there and hit that thing. And I swear he's gonna tear out his teeth one of these days. I am gonna end up having to take it away from him one of these days when he gets older. I don't know, or he will be yanking out teeth. But as a puppy, it's a good energy burner. He likes playing with it. He'll play with it for 40 minutes at a time, as long as he's got something to drink. Like I said, he'll also chew straight through it if I don't watch him. Hey, be nice. Ha ha. I originally put that out there to have a run for him, and he did not have nothing to do that. He was like a crappie flopping around. He was just having none of it. So he learned fast the borders of the yard. Now, just recently, he was seen running over and barking at the neighbor's dog. Well, I don't know. Any strange dogs come into my freaking yard and are barking at anybody here, they better watch their ass. So he needs to learn he does not do that. So we got his training collar on him again and see what happens. He's a good boy though for the most part, you know. Very independent for the most part. Chicken shit for the most part. Likes to growl. Likes to bark. Likes to eat everything and chew on everything. He's good about not chewing on what he's not supposed to in the house. But I don't know. Sticks, of course dogs are gonna like sticks. Of course they're gonna like to chew on their animals. I know all that stuff, but you don't gotta eat toads. I guess I shouldn't say chew on anything. He likes to eat everything. Caught a toad the other day and ate it in like 2 bites before he could even tell him no. You see him, he flicked his head a couple of times like, oh, something, almost like it bit him. But it must have been what a toad will do is use its feet at you or whatever. What are you doing over there? What are you eating, I should say? What are you eating over there? Goober? Nothing. Walking through all that fresh tilled dirt. I'm gonna go take a big dump in there too, probably. I don't know. Yeah, so our big plant. Oh, let's see, what time is it now? Hey, if everybody's got a second screen, pop over on go to the video that's playing now. I'm gonna pop over there. Boom. It'll be starting at 8:30, premiering. So on my computer, you have like you can go to another screen and go on YouTube again. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. Going to back to this site here. There, now go to view the, there we go. And then go to videos. There we go. We got the one that I just did. That was 59 minutes ago. And now we got this one that says notify me outdoor. That's the blueberry sprinkle that is in the yard over at Andrews that got clobbered by a cat. And then DJ, if you go over to the video that I just released, that's the one in the tent at his house now. All right, let's see. So I'm clicking on view the video. Okay, yep, 22 seconds left. And the mosquitoes are getting bad out here. Shout out to DJ, he's not feeling great. Like and subscribe, everybody. This is location number 2, blueberry sprinkle, minimal training, except for it was cat trained. Nice looking freaking plant there. Now that whole top, if you count just the one main ones, there's probably 12. But then you got them other, secondaries that are just about there on each of those branches. Those are all going to be hard nugs. Everyone you see right there, hard. Anyways, boom. Nice and short. Nobody's getting bored. Everybody likes things 30 seconds long. So there you go, 30 seconds. Boom. Oh no, I keep shutting off probably the wrong screen, I guess. I don't know. Let's see what happens here. There it is, hiding there. All right, hi, I'm back. Yeah, that's the crazy dog. What else we got? Oh. Yeah, everybody's got to have a dirt bike, though, especially now that you can drive all that kinds of, I don't know exactly dirt bikes, but you can drive all that shit down city streets in Forest Lake now, so why not? It's, mini bikes running around, golf carts more than usual, four-wheeler. I don't remember what else. There's a few mini bikes. Just, pocket rockets, basically. Come on, Doug House. We got to give them an update. Let's go. Oh, we're going to have to help him out here a little bit. Dang. Hey, Doug. Come here. Here. Hold on. Be right back. All right. Since those are done down or uploading, I guess I can take this stick out of here before I break it off. Ah, lights. Anyways, we got to get together. Me, you, DJ, Jason. I don't know how long this dude's been around town, but I've seen him around for a while, and we talked recently. He's interested in growing some stuff out too, so his name is Hank Crabtree. So I don't know, DJ, do you know who that is? He's friggin' a tree cutter. He's got some property, or his family does, or whatever. He farmed. They do a bunch of hay on it. Crabtree. He works his ass off, so I trust him. He's a big dude, tall and skinny, high energy, likes to laugh most of the time, as far as I know. But nobody's gonna fuck with him, so that's kind of like I like having that kind of people around. You like being their friends. You know, you never want to piss them off, which I try not to piss anybody off if I can. I don't know. Oh, I was gonna hit the lights instead of close that door. I'll be right back. We're wrapping peppers today with aluminum foil to protect the stems from cutworms. And taking a dab or two out of my freaking jerry-rigged rig. It's busted off at the stem. But what it does is it friggin' keeps me from smoking a bunch of it, because you can't tell how much you're getting out of a big dab when you're doing bigger dabs. With this, there's barely anything on the surface of this what it is, a stainless steel pick from a dentist office that I cut right here. Oh, DJ, if you're still there, what's your mom's name? I never knew that. Okay, no dirt bikes. Yeah, that's kind of, I had a YZ for a while. That I traded for, and then I traded back for a pool cue. That was a expensive one. I don't even remember too much about it, but that was kind of a back and forth thing over a few years, which was fun to have around here. But I would rather have a three-wheeler. You got any three-wheelers that are fixable or run? Not that I have the cash for it now, but sometime, some point, I'll be looking at getting a friggin' three-wheeler again. just because they kick so much ass. Oh shit, we were doing something. I was getting sidetracked. Erp. Then we're gonna do some flour, man. Flour power. I get it pretty red hot because this thing cools off fast. Thankfully, this stainless steel pick doesn't cool off the glass too fast. But with that film on the outside of that pick, we just slowly, gradually spin it around in there. As you work your way down in, it seems to work pretty good. And you still see some that goes down in here. So still, even for that big of a hit, that's pretty much too much on there. Really. But as far as the hit, you need a couple of them actually. Because it really isn't a great big blast, but then you're not wasting nearly as much. I was watching big globs run down that tube at one point, especially when you're using the bowl. Ah, it's been a long week. We had a long, busy week at work today. There's plenty of people out every day. Buy an array of everything from firewood to ice to any kind of booze. I had two people coming in for honey, and I thought I was completely out there, and I did still have a bear, but I guess I blew that deal. But yeah, two people that only come around like once or twice a year, so I may have blown two sales. They both did say they'd be back, so I count on that. They are repeat customers. One did say, "Okay, that's all right, though. I do still have a bear." But I gave the jar away to my son for Christmas. I'm like, oh my goodness, yeah, get a lot of that people giving away that stuff for Christmas presents, and I think that's so cool. I'm very connected to a lot of people from Honey. It's a very nice, extremely pleasant experience. The amount of stuff that I'm able to give away because of that, and not only that, but the vegetables and stuff, that has a lot to do with um, the resources I gained from being a beekeeper. It's I mean, you can ask anybody for anything, and they will help you out if you need it. Um, so many people are concerned about the environment, and that's the main thing. People will sit and listen to me talk just like I'm talking now about bees for a long time, and then they'll just ask questions, and I'll rant and rave about whatever their question's about, and probably spin off and never really answer their question half of the time because there's so many things. Oh, look at here, we got an extra pepper plant. There's two in this cell here. Now, we could clone it. We could try and tear it apart from there. We could leave it. We could just cut it out. Okay. This is one of the peppers that I don't really They don't do a whole lot for me, but they do add flavor. They don't do a lot of flavor individually, but they add a lot of flavor to the pepper blend. But I don't need 5 plants worth. I'm already going to get a ton. So I'm going to just cull one of these. Whatever one looks like it's the, and they're pretty much identical. But that one has bigger leaves. This one's greener. We're going to go with this one and just cut it off. Boom. Oh, yeah, we were talking about hops latent virus this earlier. Sounds like that stuff's crazy. It can come from out of the blue. It's everywhere, sounds like. Kind of like, I don't know if you're in California and you're dealing with caterpillars, it sounds like that's kind of, it's similar or not. And none of the effects are similar, but, um, you don't hear about it here until it's everywhere. Um, so it's not a good idea to take cuts from places. They got all these mail um, delivery places now. I'm not deliver. You can send them through the mail. People are sending them through the mail. So you go through the wrong person, which people are gonna. It's gonna be next door. It's gonna be down the road. They need to figure out some way to conquer that in a hurry. And all those different things. Powdery mildew is going to be a pain in the ass with people. I don't know. I haven't seen it, knock on wood, but um, bud rot, I did have that one chunk, like I was telling you earlier, um, where that whatever bug it was, I don't know. I hope it wasn't whatever those. Oh, what the hell are they? Hemp russet mites. Hope it wasn't one of them. Um, I would have thought would have been a bigger infestation. Hey, did you find anything about that bug we saw on your leaf? That's got to be a beneficial. There's some of these like the Tobacco University on YouTube and maybe Cannabis Guy. They will have a spot where you can um, look up bugs and we'll be able to see that one, I'm sure. That's got to be something. I mean, it could be an infestation from somewhere, but it seems like that's a natural one from the area. So I'm guessing we'll be able to figure it out. And I'm also guessing it's beneficial. Just the one reference I've heard about beneficial and not beneficial is, is it a quick moving one? Now that sucker wasn't moving at all. But it had the structure of a lacewing, and I know lacewings are very fast, but it didn't have the big wings. Maybe they were undeveloped. The lacewing I saw last year, it seemed to me like there was another bug there prior. If it wasn't him, then it was a different one, but I think it was him in its larva stage. So this, unless, now I don't think it is, but unless it was in the in-between stage of larval to winged, then it could have been, but it just went out there a week ago. So whatever it was, just found it. It never had a chance to be in a larval stage. So I don't know. It's hard. I don't know. I can't really figure it out. If it was born there, where did it come from? Did it come from an egg or was it live born then? And then the only time them were outside was that day we transplanted. Did it pick up something then and then hatch and then was on there when it went outside? Then do we got to check the inside? Um, I haven't seen any more signs of aphids, so I don't know what that thing I saw. No, it was an aphid. It had to have been. It was probably an adult aphid, one of them flying ones, one that start the infestation. So I did squish that sucker. We're getting down to the last few pepper plants, I think, in our marathon. Oh. Oh, looks like we got about 2 left. As far as I know. There could be one stuffed around there somewhere, because you never know. Pepper plants and tomato plants, even though I don't eat raw tomatoes, I like to make sauces out of them. And that's what I'll do with this stuff. What is this one? Oh, this is Tabasco. We can cut off the bottom branch or two. These, when they go on the ground, will get, providing I remember to bring it up here, they'll get some blood meal and some worm castings. They will get worm castings regardless, but I only have 1 bag of blood meal and it's out back right now. And depending on how it works out, it's going to be up here because I got to make some compost tea, but depending on when I get the peppers in the ground, the peppers are going to be the next priority. If I had a little bit of daylight right now, I'd pop some holes in the ground and put them in, but gonna have about 12 or 13 in a row. A variety of sweet and hot, mostly bell peppers. There is a habanero, I believe, which I didn't see here. Some super chilies. Those are amazing. 3 or 4 different kinds of bell peppers. Lady Bell, so 3 probably. Lady Bell. What is it? Williams Wonder. Early Summer, which is a yellow one. And then there's that one that I don't really care for, or whatever, whatever that one was. But here's, what's this one here? Oh yeah, the Red Knights. It's a sweet and hot pepper. That one adds flavor, and any of those thick skin ones add some bulk to it. Everything's going to be hot, but I like some flavor to it. And it doesn't dilute the heat from it at all. It just makes it very, very good. Bam! Got that done. Now we just got to poke them in holes. That's good. We got our squash. Those are popping up. Those should all be popped up by tomorrow night, I would think. So we'll have probably 10 or 12 hills of squash. We'll have a thing of gourds in our gourd jungle gym or whatever. I better look at this eggplant here. This little dry to me. Something. Not dry. What's that? Wrinkly. Maybe it got hot in the sun today, probably. Well, they're getting acclimated. For sure. So we'll take that. Ow. Perfect. All right. Let's find a good nug. It's a lot easier these days. Thanks, bro. It's hard not to dive into jar number one, right? See what's behind jar number two. Power plant. 1990s power plant. Very sweet smoke. Couldn't explain the way the terps are on the plant. It was, I don't know what it is. If it's myrcene, if it's freaking osmine, tourmaline, whatever. They are. It's very good. I like it. It's not a gassy one, and it's not a real strong terp when it's finished either. But you break it up, you can smell what the plant really smelled like originally. So that's cool. Other than that, since we're done with them peppers, I don't think I've got nothing else to talk about other than we're going to do our compost teas. So I've been using, I guess might as well talk a little more. I've been using my leftover compost tea on everything that I'm growing, plus anything that I may be using for nutrients. So there's some thistle and some itchweed and a few other indigenous, um, hardy weeds out there that I am going to be cutting down and turning into a fermented plant juice. Um, so that'll be done in like 3 weeks. Shortly after that, now that stuff is starting to bloom, I'm going to be taking all the blossoms I can find off of stuff and putting that in a bucket. First, I'll probably collect them and freeze them because I don't think I'd be able to pick a whole 5-gallon pail full because I want to pack them down in there pretty tight. But you get flowers right before they bloom, and you can use that, and probably when they bloom too, but I like the idea of before they bloom better. Um, and use those for your bloom fertilizer after you turn that into a fermented plant juice. At that time is when your microbial tea will be completely mature, or no, almost completely brand new, up till flower. So you'll do like a 12 to 18 hour brew and spray that on your leaves. And that'll be for bug deterrent if you have any of that. I would use it anyways, up till flower. And then what did I see today? And I'm trying to think. Dr. Zymes. Remember this then? I heard about it today, and I think I've heard about other products from them, but it might have been just this one. Dr. Zymes, and it's, I believe, called Eliminator. That apparently you can spray on your buds through flower. And I believe they said it's what works, and they say it eliminates, we'll see, powdery mildew. Now, thing about I hear about powdery mildew is you can't really get rid of it. You can keep it down by administering a couple of different techniques over time. This claimed that you'd get rid of it after 3 applications or so around there. I don't think that's going to be the case. I believe that little friggin' deal that mildew pokes into your plants is still going to be there. The stem of that mildew spore. Hyphae or whatever they call it. Hyphae, I think. Yep. There's good hyphae and bad hyphae too, man. Like your mycorrhiza. You got endo and ecto. And with let's see, with cannabis, I think you want the ecto mycorrhiza, the one that. Oh shit, maybe you want the endo. Oh yeah, no, I don't know. Don't quote me and look it up, and if you can find out, let me know. It's one or the other work with cannabis. The other ones just work with like pine trees. I don't know. That's a dyslexia in me too. I can never. Uh, if there's a choice between two, it usually confuses me. Like D's and B's, there's a choice between which way this letter faced, and it would always fuck with me. Right and left, that would always fuck with me. So I had rights and lefts in my shoes every day, and then B's and D's, well, D's in my name. So I don't know. It was difficult. Now it's a habit, it's, your hand motion just writes it or whatever, but back in the day, I really had to think about it, and most of the time I couldn't figure it out unless uh, basically I knew how to spell my name and which way the D went in my name. So when it came to writing it somewhere else, I'd look at how I spelled my name, and then that's how I would write the D, or write the letter I was looking for D. And if I was looking for B, then I'd go with what was not the letter in my name. It was fucked up as hell. All right, let's smell this stuff. I'm getting congested because I'm smelling all this weed, but yeah, it's got a good damn smell. Sweet smelling. This is clean enough to smoke out of it. I like the way this bong smokes weed. It totally gives you better flavor than any other way that I've found so far. Even out of a joint, it tastes so much better out of here. It's not harsh. I mean, smoking our weed, right? Good stuff, dude. Oh. Yeah, so it's going to be plant, plant, plant. Clean a few things, water a few things. That's about it. And I keep thinking it's damn Sunday, and it's not. It's Saturday. And if you're 45 or old, you get a colonoscopy. Not like anybody's going to be listening after this. We've been into this for 2 hours and 11 minutes. I'm pretty toasted. But the dog seems to be doing better. I got something productive done that needed to be done. It's going to save me time when I'm out in the garden. It may have took me longer right now to do it, or it may have took me the same amount of time because I would have been going back and forth for tinfoil, having to move stuff down. Now I can just plop these down four at a time and plug full four holes for most of them. When you're doing plants like this, you always want to take a couple things into consideration. The prevailing wind. So we got a wind that comes out of the west most of the time, like 99% of the time, and blows right into the east. So it's that direction. So I will put my corn in patches to where the corn is blowing across itself as far as the same kind of corn. So the ones in the first row will have like 24 stalks, but then it'll stop because the rows are 60 or 80 feet long. It'll stop, and then the next row will also have 25 of it, the same kind of corn. And when the wind blows across it, it pollinates itself, the same kind of corn, with the pollen from the same kind of corn. Peppers and, well, mostly peppers. They're not so much like that, but bumblebees pollinate them for the most part, as far as I know. And what you'll have if you bunch them up like that is your bee will go from one flower to the next, and it'll possibly pollinate, or they call it cross pollinate, um, one of your other plants. Now, I don't know how it happens because it seems to me like it shouldn't affect whether the plant gets hot until the next generation, but apparently it does from what I hear. So I try and keep my peppers kind of bunched up together for the same reason. Um, but in that case, a lot of times, apparently it don't work. I don't think it's necessary. I've never had a sweet pepper come out hot. My brother had a hot pepper plant, not hot, I guess. He expected it to be hot and it wasn't. Um, yeah, there's no reason how that should affect, because that bee would have had to gone to every flower then and pollinate every flower, and that same occurrence would have had to have happened. So if you're saving the seeds and trying to grow a next generation, which I think some of them it's not possible even, but if you're trying to grow next generation, then the seeds may have some plants that have, different phenotypical traits that will make them hot. That's how we got different varieties of peppers cross pollinating. But some hybrids on some things don't produce viable offspring. Anyways, I'm out of here. Everybody have a good night. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Andrew and DJ, for hanging out. Hope DJ feels better. And I hope the cat stays out of Andrew's yard. Bye.